Hey guys, my name is Rahul Shah and I welcome you once again to this YouTube session where my goal is still pretty much the same. It is to make investing accessible and profitable for the average investor. Now, I'm going to start today's session with a chart that's there on your screen right now. Now, it highlights three different approaches to investing in the stock market over the last 30 years. One is the buy and hold approach. Say if you would have invested rupees 100 in the stock market around 30 years back and would have kept it invested and did absolutely nothing, it's called the typical buy and hold strategy. Your returns from the stock market would have been in the region of 13 to 14% CAGR, which I think is pretty good. Another strategy, the snake at the bottom of the chart, is the strategy where you stayed invested in the stock market over the last 30 years, but you missed the 25 best days in the stock market. And missing the 25 best days in the stock market would have had a huge impact on your overall returns. Your returns would have crashed to a CAGR of just 4 to 5%. Yes, the way the compounding works, the way stock market function, missing out the 25 best days over a period as long as 30 years could still lead to you ending up with nothing. Your returns would have come down to a pittance. It would have been even worse than a fixed deposits if you missed the 25 best days in the stock market over the last 30 years. The topmost snake, it's very interesting. What happens if you miss the 25 worst days in the stock market? This is very interesting. Over the last 30 years, if you had missed the 25 worst days in the stock market, your returns would have been 8 times better than buy and hold. The 13% CAGR in buy and hold would have become an impressive 21% CAGR, or if all you had done is missed out the 25 worst days in the stock market over the last 30 years. This is very interesting and very fascinating for me. Every time I look at this chart, I just get amazed. Staying out of the stock markets, on its worst days, trying to avoid huge corrections, it's much more beneficial to your investment health. Better than anyone can imagine. It leads to huge advantage over the long term. And little wonder, a lot of value investors, you speak to a lot of the famous value investors, they no doubt tell you that the first and the most important role of an investor is to avoid the downside, is to minimize the downside. I think this chart is the reason why they tell you so. A lot of people think that outperforming the stock market is all about outperforming the stock in a good year, outperforming the market in a good year. So if the stock market is up 70-80% in a good year, all you have to do is earn 90-100% returns better than the stock market in a good year, and they don't worry about the downside. Another approach, more effective approach, as this chart suggests, is not to outperform the stock market in a good year, but to outperform it in a bad year. So even if you underperform the stock market in a good year, but you manage to outperform it in a bad year, if you lose less than the index in a bad year, that could prove much more beneficial to your overall returns as compared to a buy and hold strategy, or a strategy where you're trying to outperform the Sensex in a good year. Now, how is it possible? How do we try to stay out of the stock market in a bad year, or minimize our exposure to stocks so that we can earn better returns, market beating returns over the long term? Now, if you look at the big significant corrections that have happened in the stock market over the last couple of decades, be it the 2008 crash, be it the 2018 crash in the stock market, or the 2020 Feb March crash because of the coronavirus. Most of these crashes have happened when the Sensex has been in the expensive zone, or the valuations were expensive for the stock market. So a big way to try and outperform the stock market in a bad year, lose less than the stock market, or stay out of the stock market during its worst years, has to do with the overall valuation of the stock market. If the valuation of the stock market is expensive, in the expensive zone, it makes sense to stay out of the stock market or minimize your exposure to the stock market so that you could avoid the worst days and earn those market beating returns. For example, this chart, which is there in front of you right now, it shows a simple approach where you are investing in the BSE small cap index between 2013 and August 2020. One is the buy and hold strategy, and the other is the strategy where you are minimizing exposure to stocks, minimizing it to 25% when the markets are expensive, and maximizing your exposure to stocks to 75% when the markets are cheap. So whenever the stock market index has, stock market valuation, stock market PE has been more than 25x, I have reduced the exposure to just 25%. And whenever the stock market exposure has been, the stock market valuations has been less than 25x, or stock markets have been, attractively valued from a long term perspective, have kept the stock allocation to 75%, and I've rebalanced it only once a year. So on 31st December of every year, I just look at the stock market valuations and decide the allocation 75-25 based on the stock market valuation, and let it run for the next 1 year, and then again at the end of the year I rebalance it. So as you could see, this simple strategy would have outperformed buy and hold by not a big margin. The outperformance is of the extent of 15 to 20%, but over the long term it really compounds, and this strategy, there's a high chance, would end up giving you much better return than a simple buy and hold strategy. So my whole point is, if you take a maximum exposure to stocks and the stock market is expensive, and if you take maximum exposure when the stock market is cheap, and minimize your exposure when the stock market is, becomes expensive, you could do much better than a simple buy and hold strategy over the long term, which is my, across all my strategies that I run for Equity Master. I am a deep advocate of shifting your allocation between stocks and bonds based on the broader market valuation. This approach has worked well for my readers, for my subscribers over the last 6-7 years, and it's because it's based on the simple logic that the key to beating the stock market is not about trying to outperform the stock market in a good year, but it is about trying to outperform the stock market in a bad year, losing less than the stock market in a bad year. So even if you do that, and if you just about achieving parity in a good year or losing less than the stock market in a good year, that approach can also give good long term returns if you are able to avoid those big market drawdowns. So I think even you should give this strategy a try. If you are a buy and hold investor, maybe allocate a small percentage of your portfolio to this strategy and try and invest in stocks based on the broader market valuation. Whenever the Sensex PE is more than 26 times, you reduce your exposure, and when the Sensex PE is less than 25 times, is looking attractive, you minimize your exposure, and do this once in 6 months or once a year. Don't do it very frequently, do it once a year. Once a year is good enough, and then try and compare your returns with a simple buy and hold strategy, and I'm sure that you will not be disappointed with this strategy. So that was all from my side today. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, comment, or like this video. It really gives us a lot of encouragement to hear good words from you. So keep those comments and those likes coming, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much.